Welcome back to the end of the regular season. We are in week 18 heading into Sunday Night Football. I am your host, Bobby Stanley, also known as PropHolliday. And based on this mustache, I now drive a white van, at least according to my wife. Looking at the 1 o'clock games, couple big headlines. First one that sticks out to me, Gerard Mayo fired by the New England Patriots after just one season. My suspicion, Mike Vrabel will be the new head coach of the New England Patriots going forward. Tampa Bay wins the NFC South. The Bears beat the Packers, pushing them down to the 7th seed in the NFC. Carolina beats Atlanta in overtime, but I don't think that mattered because Tampa won. Still not a great look to lose to Carolina in week 18. Bengals playoff hopes are dwindling. Tone, I'm so sorry, man. It sucks. They made a hell of a run. Broncos are up 21-0 at the moment, but unless we get a Carson Wentz epic comeback and the Jets can hold on, Joe Burrow is not making the playoffs this postseason. I'm sorry, guys. Mike Evans ties Jerry Rice with 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That's wildly impressive. Those are the big headlines from me. I'm trying to think if there's any big performances. I think Drake London had 2 touchdowns. I think Bijan had 2 touchdowns in that overtime loss for Atlanta. The game of the I want to say this might be the game of the regular season, the best game of the regular season. It is essentially a playoff game. We had a playoff game tonight. It is the Minnesota Vikings getting 2.5 points, going to Detroit. The winner of this not only wins the NFC North, they win the 1 seed in the NFC. There's a ton on the line. Let's just take a look back. Before we do that, total sits at 56.5. This one's going to be a fun one to bet. The Lions won the week 7 matchup against Minnesota 31-29 on a 44-yard field goal with 15 seconds left. However, this version of the Detroit Lions comes in significantly battered. There is no David Montgomery tonight. However, Alex Anzalone, the linebacker with the hair, he was brought off IR this week. He returns with a carbon fiber cast on his arm. I'm excited for this game. Everybody should be excited for this game, not just in terms of betting, but the quality of game, what this means. Both teams are going to be playing their ass off, which is very different from what we saw from 75% of these games today. Ton of backups in. I mean, the incentive thing, I probably should have talked about this in the top, but the incentives, it was driven way into the ground. When sports books are promoting that incentives, you can bet on these, you should probably not bet on these. Instead of throwing bets on everything, I did a round robin with some touchdown stuff. I did Ertz 2 touchdowns. He had 1. I did Tony Pollard 2 touchdowns. He had none. Kyler Murray 50 yards and a rushing touchdown. That's another one. There was a bunch. Problem is, I don't think many of them hit. There was a couple of them that hit. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had 2 touchdowns that he should have had. They fell through. That was another one. So kind of sucks. The Buffalo Bills had an intriguing one. I think it was every offensive skill position player on their team had to catch a receiving touchdown for the first time in NFL history. They hit that today with one of their backup running backs. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, this incentive thing, totally overblown, very annoying. And if sports books are telling you to bet it or that you can bet it, stay the hell away from it. As far as tonight, though, 56.5. That's going to be fun. I'll go right into my first player prop. Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings, over 6.5 receptions. I got it for minus 135. Shop this around. I think it was minus 125 on BetMGM, but my money's not in BetMGM. I don't really like the book. This is equivalent of an indoor playoff game. Love that. I have no reservations paying the juice on this number at 6.5. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, he's going to want the ball in the hands of his best guys. And the Lions are a great matchup for Jefferson to exploit. They allowed the second most receptions to opposing wide receivers this season. You know who number 1 is? Minnesota gives up the most receptions to opposing wide receivers. Jefferson cleared this in 8 of 16 on the season, including 5 straight to close the season against the Lions in that Week 7 matchup. He went 8 targets for 7 receptions, 81 yards. Jefferson's yardage line is set at 92 to 95, depending on what book you got it on. When he goes for 92 or more yards this season, kind of playing in between the lines here, if he goes for 92 or more, he hits this line 7+ in 6 of 8 games. So I think this is a safe approach to play this. A lot of odds are shot. We'll talk about the touchdowns in a little bit. Don't overthink it. Justin Jefferson, in a game they need to win, is going to get the ball. He's probably going to see anywhere from 8 to 12 targets tonight. I have no problem with him, or I have no problem paying the juice on him getting 7 receptions. So give me Justin Jefferson over 6.5 receptions. really quickly, we want to talk about our guys over at Bet365. With Bet365, you can choose your own sign-up bonus. Either get a safety net on your first bet up to $1,000 or bet $5 and get 150 in bonus bets. It's your call. Click the link in the episode description and pick that offer that's right for you. You must be 21 plus, but 18 plus in Kentucky. Gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. I love Bet365. It's where most of my bankroll is. It's very easy to navigate. The only problem is, and I'll have a slight knock on Bet365. I have to constantly re-download my geo tag position thing on my desktop. That's annoying. Other than that, great book, Bet365, if you're not on it. I don't have two plays in the Sunday night football game. I've been really heavy into NBA lately, even though it's kind of the down part of the season and, after Christmas before All-Star break. But I have a good one that I love tonight. Anthony Davis, LA Lakers playing the Houston Rockets over 24.5 points. It's minus 115. On Bet365, it's minus 115. I played it over on Fanatics, and I got a 10% odd boost that brought it to minus 115. Same difference. Going into the day, I had a feeling LeBron might sit. It would be his third game in 4 days. He just broke Michael Jordan's record, and they're a son of a bitch of a matchup as far as Houston's concerned, especially coming off an embarrassing loss to the Boston Celtics the other night. So they're going to want to take it out on LA. I don't think he's out. He's probably going to play. I still love this line at 24.5. AD hits this in. I'm sorry, let me go back. AD hits this last season 27, 27, and 23 against Houston. When he had 23, he only played 29 minutes against the Rockets. Şengün has no shot in hell of defending AD in the post. Rockets are 23rd overall in defending the pick and roll. Man, I do think LeBron's going to be a little bit tired. So even if he plays, maybe he doesn't play kind of the full minutes. I was hoping he was going to be a scratch. If he was going to be a scratch, that 24.5 is a steal. He's probably going to play. I still like the line. Give me Anthony Davis over 24.5 points. He's been playing fairly well lately. And they're still tinkering around with those lineups with Dorian Finney-Smith. So give me Anthony Davis over 24.5 points. Pair that with Justin Jefferson over 6.5 receptions. These are 1-unit plays each for me. And let's talk to my boy Brad Thomas.
Wait. Before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the GoldBoys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the GoldBoys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Welcome back, guys. This is going to be the last regular season touchdown liquor cabinet. I'm sure we're going to have more for the wild card round and some of the playoff stuff, but the last regular season touchdown liquor cabinet. Now, if you've looked at any book at all, the top 4, maybe even 5 guys are at minus odds for this game for obvious reasons. 2 of the best offense in the league. Both of the game matters. It's indoors, and the total's at 56.5. I went somewhat of a different direction here, but I got a ton of money laid out on this, like everybody else. My top shelf, I did a bit of a parlay. I took Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown to score as a parlay. It's plus 220. I threw 1 unit on it. Each of them individually I loved. I think Justin Jefferson's like minus 130. Amon-Ra's like minus 125. Together, they're plus 220. 1 unit at over 2-1. I think both of these guys get in. I don't think it's a coincidence. If you have a same game parlay with an odds boost, don't touch Jahmyr Gibbs. It's like minus 300, minus 280, which is absurd. I went with a different route. Like I said, both of these teams, they're 1-2 in giving up most targets and most receptions to opposing wide receivers. Let's continue with that. And they always, as far as Detroit's concerned, they always seem to find a way to get Amon-Ra St. Brown involved in the red zone, it feels like. He's not really taking the top off as much. That's been Jameson Williams' spiel. But Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson, 1 unit, parlayed them together, 2-1. That's my top shelf. I'm putting 1 unit on that, at least to end the regular season. Going down to my mid shelf, the best anytime you can get Detroit and Minnesota, this is the best mid shelf. These are half unit plays from me. Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison. I threw a half unit on each of these guys. I'm expecting at least 2 out of 3. Hawkinson, small revenge factor. He's been kept out of the end zone for a little bit, but I think he's around 2 to 1, depending on your book. Laporta always seems to find the end zone in some capacity. And then Addison's been lighting it up lately. And like I said, that wide receiver matchup for Detroit. Half a unit on each of these guys to score a touchdown. Feel very, very confident we get at least 2 out of 3. Um, so that's my mid shelf. I love this mid shelf. Laporta, Hawkinson, and Addison. Addison's I think like plus 130 to plus 150 depending on your book. But 2 to 1 on Laporta, 2 to 1 on Hawkinson. You could do a lot worse than that. Half unit on each. And then my well vodka. I thought about going Johnny Munt, backup tight end for the Minnesota Vikings. He was a possibility here. I ended up going the 2 touchdown route, and I went with the tight ends. I threw 0.1 unit, so not a ton on Hawkinson, 0.1 unit on Laporta, 2 touchdowns. So one I think was 13 to 1, the other was 12 to 1. If you throw $10, you win 120. One of these two guys I think is going to blow up. It's a matter of which tight end it is. So we do have a lot sprayed out in the touchdown liquor cabinet, but it's not spread out a lot. It's spread out between a couple different guys. It's spread out. It's concentrated with these guys. So my well vodka is Hawkinson 2 touchdowns, Laporta 2 touchdowns. Laporta has done well for us, no pun intended, in the touchdown category for this segment. So those are my well vodka plays. And then gotta have a cross sport parlay to end the night. 1 second, we were doing this last minute. I want to pull this up. So I have 2 in NBA, 1 in NFL. And if you're watching from the prop shop, I put this in last minute because I didn't know I was doing the show. So I apologize, but I will get this up in the channel shortly. The cross sport parlay. It is so Domantas Sabonis, triple double, playing the Golden State Warriors, has done very well in the assist column against the Golden State Warriors in the past. Him to get a triple double is plus 525. That's the big leg for this. The other Cam Whitmore, 3+3s. There's no Jabari Smith. I think he's gone for 3+ in 3 of his last 7 or 8 games. And then 2 games ago, he hit it. He went 1-9 against Boston the other night. It was embarrassing, but he's gonna let it fly. Tari Eason, I think, is still out. Amen Thompson is back. Cam Whitmore, 3+3s, plus 280. And then TJ Hawkinson, 6 receptions, plus 120. I might play this as a straight play. I like Hawkinson, at least to be involved in this offense tonight. Those 3 legs are 75 to 1. Throw 0.1 unit on this. Don't go crazy on this. 0.1 unit, $5, $10. But Sabonis is triple double against a team he's had triple doubles against in the past. Cam Whitmore, 3+3s. I think he still gets those minutes in Jabari Smith's absence and bring some of that, bring some offense there. Lakers struggle in transition. He's a really good transition player. And then TJ Hawkinson, 6 receptions. 3 legs, 75 to 1. $10 pays 750. We got a lot spread out on NFL. I want to have at least a long shot here. So this one's going to go up in the Discord shortly, but you guys got it here first. My apologies to my prop shop fellows that I didn't get this out to you. Guys, thank you for tuning in. This is going to be an awesome close to the NFL regular season. We are going to have shows for NFL Wildcard. We are going to be doing some NBA shows going forward. We did hit 2 legs from the other night's parlay pieces, or however we phrased it. I forget what we phrased it. So hopefully you guys catched on that. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy. Thank you for watching with me this NFL regular season. It was awesome, and I can't wait to cover the playoffs.